Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Under a vast, open sky, the rhythmic sound of farming echoes through the air. The title card reads, Farming Life in Another World. Hiraku, a young farmer, pauses his work, the heavy hoe resting against his shoulder. He lifts a towel to wipe the beads of sweat from his forehead. Suddenly, a cheerful voice calls out from across the field. A young waifu waves enthusiastically in the distance. "Oh, hubby!" Hiraku turns his attention toward the voice. As Hiraku focuses on the beauty of this queen, a cheerful grin with long hair and pointed ears, wearing a frilly dress, cups a hand to her mouth and shouts enthusiastically, "Tea's ready!" A rectangular text box floats in the sky, setting the scene. In this other world, in the background, a blonde girl waves her hands frantically, looking annoyed that her credit is being stolen. "Wait now, Miss Rue, I made that tea." The view shifts to two large dark wolves with horns sit panting happily. Looking to the side, they said, "Break time?" "Yeah." To the left, a silhouette of a man stands atop a gentle slope, holding a hoe. He looks out toward the horizon, accompanied by smaller figures and the wolves. "I am a village mayor." That's because
the story begins with a stark white void, introducing the protagonist. My name is Hiraku Machio. The scene shifts to a flashback of a cramped, cluttered office filled with rows of desks and piles of paperwork, portraying a stifling corporate environment. The company I joined after college was downright abusive. I ended my 20s nearly working to death. The view changes to the exterior of a large, impersonal building labeled General Hospital, and spent all my 30s in a hospital bed. I was a man, dead, at age 39. Suddenly, the setting drops away into a pitch-black abyss. Hiraku Machio appears, standing naked and alone in the darkness, looking confused. And right now,
in a stark black void streaked with motion lines, a young man stands naked, facing a glowing, featureless figure. I am talking to God. Reincarnated in another world, is that right? The perspective pulls back, revealing the two figures as tiny specks in the infinite darkness. Not reincarnated, relocated. Relocated. But I thought I was dead. A massive silhouette profile dominates the view, its presence overwhelming as it answers, "You are, which is why I shall revive you in another world. I have rid you of disease and restored your damaged intestines. Here's some of your health back while I'm at it." In a void of utter darkness, streaked with rushing white starlight, a shirtless young boy stands before a glowing, featureless white silhouette. "Thank you so much." No need to thank me. The perspective shifts to the void itself, where the entity's voice echoes with a slightly distorted, heavier resonance. "I have my reasons for sending you to another world. You will be sent to another world for my sake, so to speak." Back in the starlit expanse, the boy scratches his head awkwardly, looking at the small glowing figure in the distance. "Oh, well, is there anything I have to do when I get there? Just be yourself." A close-up of the boy's face shows him blank and attentive as the entity's instructions float around him in fuzzy speech bubbles. "And just live there. Simply enjoy your second life." "Oh, okay." In a void of darkness streaked with motion lines, a tiny, glowing white silhouette stands before a massive, unseen presence. "Do you have a problem?" "Nope." It's really quite simple, but are you up to the task? A close-up reveals the boy's face, eyes closed in calm acceptance, hair framing his features against the stark white background. "Yes. I have spent almost 10 years in a hospital bed, completely unable to move. But you have offered to make me healthy and restore my vitality to boot." The perspective shifts to a large, shadowed figure looming in the darkness. "I have nothing to complain about." "I see. Oh, but how do I put it?
In the black void, the small boy stands alone as fuzzy, ethereal speech bubbles manifest around him. I feel sorry for pushing all this on you, so I shall grant just a few of your wishes. Wishes, you say?
In a dark, swirling void illuminated by streaks of light, a conversation takes place between a divine entity and a soul awaiting reincarnation. A hand gestures, listing options. Yes, for example, you can wish for a unique skill or be fated to meet someone special. Okay then, the boy cuts the explanation short. A close-up reveals his gentle smile, though his eyes are obscured by his hair. Please give me a body that never gets sick. The boy stands naked and vulnerable in the darkness. The request seems to puzzle the entity. A body that never gets sick? Yes. The perspective shifts to show the boy facing a glowing, featureless humanoid figure. He explains the trauma of his past life. I suffered from a terrible illness, so if at all possible, I don't want to go through that a second time. The glowing figure, seemingly moved by the boy's reasoning, stammers a reply before granting the wish. Yes, understood. I now bestow upon you a healthy body that never gets sick.
In a sudden burst of light within a dark void, a shirtless young man gasps for air, his eyes wide with shock. A loud pwah echoes as he exhales, mist dissipating around his body. Composing himself, the young man smiles cheerfully at a massive, shadowy silhouette of a face looming in the darkness to his left. Thanks a bunch. The view shifts to the empty, star-streaked void as their voices resonate in the space. Shall I grant one more wish? Huh? But it's fine. Out with it already. The young man stands as a tiny figure in the vast darkness, facing a small, glowing white figure below him. All right. If possible, I'd like to live in a place with few people. A place that has few people?
In a dark, star-speckled void, a young man with messy, light hair stands bare, his expression downcast as he recounts the trauma that shaped him. Yes, it's just that when my parents died, I was treated real bad by people who claimed to be family, and later at work. So I'm a little wary of people, I guess. He pauses, sweat forming on his cheek as he corrects himself, admitting a deeper truth about his own nature. Wait, that's not it. I think I'm pretty bad at communicating with others. I know I should fix it, but right away would be tough. Before him stands a bald, divine entity who raises a hand in acknowledgement. The boy bows his head deeply, relieved. So that's why a place with few people. Understood. Let me contemplate where to send you. Wow, I feel nothing but gratitude. Thank you so much.
In a dark void, illuminated by streaking starlight, a small, shirtless protagonist stands before a mysterious, glowing entity. The entity, appearing as a blank white figure, gestures casually. I really wouldn't mind granting one more. Huh? It's fine. Spit it out. Let me see. The protagonist, a spiky-haired young man, suddenly recalls a crucial detail. He smiles nervously, sweat dropping down his cheek. Oh, right. Please give me the ability to speak the local language. The entity's profile appears in the adjacent panel, mouth visible in a silhouette, dismissing the request immediately. That has been taken care of. You will be able to speak with most people. The perspective shifts. The entity looms large in the foreground as a massive silhouette, looking down at the tiny protagonist who stands bewildered in the void. It's part of the complimentary beginner pack. Huh? The entity's voice booms, the speech bubble trembling with impatience. Now hurry up and name your wishes. In a void streaked with starlight, a young man with a relieved smile speaks to an unseen presence. I don't know what to say. I spent all those years in a hospital bed, so I'm happy that I can move, I guess. Most of my wishes have already been granted. The darkness shifts as a disembodied voice responds, glowing orbs of text floating in the emptiness. Well then, is there anything you'd like to do? Your destination is one you know well, a swords and spells world you might see in a video game. a vision of a fantasy realm appears, a majestic castle, a cloaked maid casting spells, and a warrior raising a sword in triumph. You may want to be the world's strongest adventurer, an unrivaled maid, or even a king somewhere in the land. The vision fades, and the young man laughs slightly, contemplating his choice in the void. All that's a bit heavy for me. Let's see. If I could move again, what would I do?
In a mysterious, dark void streaked with white lines like falling rain or racing stars, a shirtless young man stands before a large, faceless entity. I got it! I know what I want! I see. What is it? The view zooms in on the young man's face. He beams with pure, unshakable confidence and a wide smile. Agriculture! The camera pulls back to reveal the figures in the void again. A heavy, stunned silence hangs in the air, represented by a floating ellipsis. There's this TV show where idols work on a farm. When I saw it, I really wanted to try it myself. The entity, appearing as a pale silhouette against the darkness, seems perplexed by this mundane ambition. Is that so? Agriculture, is that right? Yes, I want to be a farmer.
In a dark void illuminated by streaks of starlight, a young man stands before a glowing, faceless entity. They appear to be in the middle of a negotiation. No good? The entity raises a finger with a sharp shp sound, correcting the young man's assumption. Not necessarily. It is not no good. It's just beyond my jurisdiction. Suddenly, the entity turns away, holding up a hand to pause the conversation. Hold on a sec. The entity pulls out a cell phone and begins a frantic, garbled conversation in the background. The young man watches, sweat dropping in confusion. Okay. The call concludes. With a dramatic flourish and a swoop sound, the entity presents an object wreathed in spiritual flame. Thank you for waiting. I give you this. He thrusts a humble garden hoe forward, treating it like a legendary weapon. The almighty farming tool.
In a dark, void-like space, illuminated only by strange, rain-like streaks of light, a young man stands with his back turned, holding a simple garden hoe. A mysterious, silhouetted figure stands before him. Almighty? A hoe is certainly an excellent tool, but don't you think calling it almighty is a bit of a reach? Right now, that hoe was created by your imagination, but it will change form depending on how you want to use it. The scene shifts. A close-up shows the young man looking back, confused. Change? Yes. As the young man holds the tool in front of him, it glows and distorts. A sharp shoom sound effect underscores the sudden transformation. Why, for example, if you wish it to be a sickle, then a sickle it shall be. Whoa! The silhouette raises a finger, listing the tool's capabilities as the young man listens intently from the corner. It can become a saw, a hammer, a pickaxe, or a shovel out well. Also, you are the only one who can use it. It will always stay by your side and even return to you even if you throw it. Talk about high tech.
In a dark void, illuminated by streaks of light, a young, shirtless man watches in awe as energy gathers in his palm. While we're at it, I'll store it inside of you so you won't have to worry. You can use it and return it at will. Go on, give it a try. The energy coalesces with a sharp sound, shoom, bursting into a small flare. Amazing! The scene shifts to pure darkness, heavy with silence. Keep it safe. Okay, I'll keep it safe. A faceless, silhouetted figure stands amidst the raining darkness, addressing the young man one last time. It looks like it's time to send you off. Are you ready? The young man smiles gently, his expression filled with gratitude. I sure am. Thank you for everything.
In a void of darkness streaked with radiating light, a glowing pale figure floats weightlessly. Sure. Well then, the figure drifts away into the center of the swirling lights, shrinking into a distant silhouette. Take care. The glowing streaks fade into the periphery, leaving only empty darkness behind, until the view is swallowed by absolute black. An extreme close-up focuses on a pair of wide, startled eyes, conveying a sense of sudden awakening or realization.
The perspective shifts to reveal a young man standing amidst towering trees in a sunlit forest. He wears simple adventure gear, a vest and loose trousers, and looks around with a mix of confusion and wonder. I'm in a forest. I can move my body freely. A look of pure joy washes over his face as he lifts his hands, testing his movement. I have a healthy body. A young man stands in a bright, sun-dappled forest clearing. He lifts an arm, examining the simple fabric of his sleeve with a look of mild surprise. I seem to be wearing a villager's clothing. Thank goodness it's not funeral clothes. This must be a part of the beginner pack God mentioned. With a sudden sound, a simple wooden hoe materializes in his hands. He holds it diagonally across his chest, smiling confidently. The almighty farming tool. Thank you, God. Resting the tool behind him, he turns towards the light filtering through the trees. He bows deeply at the waist, a respectful picori, acknowledging the divine gift. Come to think of it, I forgot to ask God their name, but what's important is being thankful. Once again, thank you, God. High in the canopy of a dense forest, the sunlight filters through the leaves. The silence is broken only by the cries of birds. I know. The view pans down through the thick woods. There isn't a soul in sight. I asked for a place with few people, but this, I don't think anyone's here. He turns around, panic written on his face. He begins counting on his fingers, trying to formulate a plan. What do I do? I'm finally healthy again, but at this rate, I'll just end up dead. Okay, so the basics of survival are water, then food, and after that's a place to sleep. Close up on a young man with a determined expression. He gazes off to the side, sweat on his brow, formulating a plan. I've got to secure those 3 things. First, I'll look for water. Anyway, water it is. He cups his hands behind his ears, listening intently to the forest around him. Maybe I'll hear the sound of it flowing. A soft shh sound brushes past, but it is immediately drowned out by a cacophony of terrifying shrieks echoing from the distance. Kya! Kie! Gwa! The man shudders violently, his face pale with dread. Never mind. Giving up on the water, he tests the soil. He stomps his foot down hard, creating a loud bam, but the ground doesn't yield. Not to mention, it's so hard, too hard. The ground is so tough, it's like stone. He stares at the ground, bewildered by the impossibility of the task. Do I really have to farm land? That's so tough? He looks around at the lush greenery surrounding him, confused by the contradiction. Despite that, the trees and grass in this place sure grew in nicely. Under a bright, sunlit sky, a young man stands in an open field. He grips a hoe tightly, raising it high above his head to break the soil. I'm sure the ground's only hard in the forest. Other places should be fine. Don't know till you try. He swings the tool down with a burst of effort. A loud grunt escapes him as he puts his back into the swing. The blade strikes the earth. Instead of bouncing off, it slices cleanly and deeply into the dirt with a sharp sound. Shh! The young man stands up straight, resting the handle of the hoe behind his neck. He grins, surprised by the lack of resistance. That was easy. Encouraged, he begins to till the soil rapidly. The hoe flies in a blur of motion, striking the ground rhythmically. Oh! Shh! 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 This ain't half bad. Sunlight filters through the trees as a young man works the land. Suddenly, his eyes go wide with panic. Oh crap! The tree's roots. He faces a massive tangle of thick roots embedded in the earth. Gritting his teeth, he raises his hoe and swings it down with all his might. Instead of a heavy thud, a sharp, crisp sound, shk, cuts the air as the blade slices through the wood like butter. Huh? Shk. Confused by the strange, light sound, he pauses. He looks down at the ground to see the formidable roots have been completely pulverized into fine powder. Whoa, that was a cinch. And the roots have been tilled. They've been turned into sawdust. Top panel. A young man swings a hoe vigorously against a white background, tilling the unseen ground.
Sound effects indicate the sharp shk of the tool cutting through roots. Tilling the tree's roots has turned them into fertilizer, and I'm astonished that I'm not even tired. Middle panel, a close-up dynamic shot of the hoe blade striking the earth, sending dirt flying. The frame focuses on the impact and the tool. Is it because I got my vitality back? No. When I'm using the almighty farming tool, maybe I won't get tired. Bottom right panel. The young man has a sudden epiphany. A stylized light bulb sparkles above his head alongside the word idea. Oh, this must mean... Bottom left panel. A view down a long cleared path through the dense forest. The young man is a small silhouette in the distance, tilling the ground as he walks forward. That if I till on the move, I won't tire at all. So I'll give it a try.
Bathed in a shaft of divine light, a young man holds a simple farming hoe aloft triumphantly. He looks up with a mix of relief and reverence. And it works! With no food or water, I was thinking this might be some kind of sadistic joke. Thank you, God. But it looks like God has a plan for me after all. He gets to work immediately. The hoe strikes the ground with powerful shk sounds, tearing through soil and vegetation with supernatural ease as he carves a path forward. But for now, I've got to find a place where I can get food and water. Gotta be able to see too, since I didn't stop at the roots and tilled entire trees. Time passes. The young man stands on the rough path he has cleared through a dense forest. He looks exhausted. In the distance, the ominous caw of a crow echoes. It's been an hour and I haven't even gone 50 meters. This can't be good. I'm not sure what time it is, but what should I do when the sun sets? A young man with black hair stands in a field near a forest, vigorously hacking away at tall grass with a hoe. The rhythmic sound of shk shk fills the air as he works. Maybe I shouldn't have cared about visibility just because I'm not getting tired. No. Beasts might emerge from the forest. So I have to make sure I can see. Crap. Overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task, he clutches his head in a comical display of despair. A large, stylized no hangs in the air behind him. Please help me, God. I guess relying on others ain't gonna help. He pauses, his gaze falling upon the farming hoe resting on the ground. Oh, now that I think about it, God said that this tool can take other forms. Suddenly, with a sharp metallic shing, the tool glows and transforms, taking on a serrated edge. For example, it can be a saw.
In a sun-dappled forest, a young man pauses, a look of sudden realization crossing his face as he thinks. Wait, saws don't fell trees. For that, I'll need... With a magical shwoom, a large, double-headed axe materializes in his hands, surrounded by glowing sparks. An axe! He grips the handle tightly, a bead of nervous sweat rolling down his cheek as he stares at the heavy tool. Okay, let's give this a shot. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.